Have you ever stopped to wonder what your last meal is doing to your body right now? Beyond satisfying hunger, every bite you take sets off a cascade of biological reactions, fueling your cells, shaping your mood, and potentially influencing your lifespan. But it doesn't stop there. What we eat defines not only our health, but our identity, values, and impact on the planet. In a world of ultra-processed convenience and clever food marketing, understanding how deeply food shapes who we are physically, mentally, and culturally has never been more urgent. Are you truly what you eat? Let's find out. Before I continue, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so more people can discover this content. Also subscribe to receive more content like this. The phrase, "you are what you eat," is often thrown around in discussions about health, diet, and wellness. It suggests a direct correlation between our dietary choices and our physical and even mental states. But is this expression merely a catchy slogan, or is it grounded in biological, psychological, and cultural truth? This video explores how what we eat influences not only our bodies, but also our identities, habits, and values. In doing so, it will consider scientific facts, ethical concerns, cultural influences, and personal responsibility in food consumption. At its core, the phrase, "you are what you eat," is biologically accurate. Every cell in the human body is built and maintained using the nutrients we consume. From muscle and bone tissue to hormones and neurotransmitters, the body's structure and function rely on the quality and quantity of the food we eat. But beyond cell regeneration and nutrient roles, food also directly influences body weight, fat storage, and energy balance, all of which are governed by fundamental biological principles. The human body requires a certain number of calories each day to function properly. This is known as your maintenance caloric intake, the amount of energy, measured in calories, needed to support all vital functions, including breathing, digestion, circulation, brain activity, and physical movement. Your maintenance calories represent the number of calories your body requires each day to maintain its current weight. This amount varies significantly from person to person and is influenced by several key physiological and lifestyle factors. Basal metabolic rate is the amount of energy your body needs to perform basic, life-sustaining functions at rest, such as breathing, circulating blood, regulating temperature, and supporting organ function. It accounts for approximately 60–75% of your daily caloric expenditure. Basal metabolic rate is influenced by genetics, age, body size, and lean muscle mass. People with higher muscle mass tend to have higher basal metabolic rates, as muscle tissue is more metabolically active than fat. The second major factor is how physically active you are throughout the day. This includes structured exercise like running or weight training, as well as energy used for everyday movements that aren't exercise, like walking around or cleaning or even fidgeting. More active individuals require more energy to support their movement, which increases total daily energy expenditure. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass and often gain fat unless we stay physically active. Since muscle burns more calories at rest than fat, a higher body fat percentage tends to lower basal metabolic rate and maintenance needs. Younger individuals with more lean mass generally require more calories to maintain weight. Men typically have higher basal metabolic rates than women because they usually have more muscle mass and less body fat. Hormones such as thyroid hormones, insulin, and cortisol also affect metabolism and calorie needs. For example, if your body makes less thyroid hormone, it can slow down how fast you burn energy. Also, when you're stressed, your body can hold on to fat and change how it uses energy. Together, these factors determine how many calories your body truly needs each day. If you eat exactly your maintenance calories, your body weight will stay roughly the same because the energy you consume equals the energy you expend. When you consistently consume more calories than your body needs, even by a small margin, your body stores the surplus energy, primarily in the form of fat. This is an evolutionary adaptation, storing energy for future periods of scarcity. However, in modern societies where calorie-dense foods are constantly available and physical activity is minimal, this surplus easily leads to chronic weight gain. Let's break down the process. Say your maintenance level is 2,200 calories per day, but you regularly consume 2,700. The extra 500 calories per day adds up to 3,500 per week, the equivalent of roughly 1 pound, 0.45 kilos of fat. Over weeks or months, this small but persistent excess leads to increased fat stores, often without the person even realizing it. Weight gain is not just about numbers, it is also influenced by the type of food consumed. For example, whole foods, like vegetables, lean meats and legumes, are nutrient-dense and promote satiety, making it easier to stay within caloric limits. Ultra-processed foods are energy-dense, which means even a small amount can have a lot of calories, but low in nutrients your body needs. They're made in a way that makes people want to eat more, and they can trick your body by bypassing normal satiety signals, the signals that tell you you're full, so it's easy to eat more than you need without realizing it. Different individuals respond to excess calories in different ways. Some may store more fat, others may build more muscle depending on genetics, hormones, and activity levels. However, the core principle holds. If you consume more energy than your body uses, that excess is stored, primarily as body fat. Furthermore, a high intake of refined carbs and sugars can exacerbate fat storage via hormonal responses, especially insulin, which promotes energy storage and prevents fat breakdown. From a molecular standpoint, the food you eat becomes you. Amino acids from protein become enzymes, muscle fibers, and immune cells. Fatty acids from dietary fats become part of your cell membranes. Glucose from carbohydrates fuels your cells, but in excess is converted to fat. Micronutrients like calcium, iron, and magnesium support bone health, oxygen transport, nerve signaling, and more. This literal transformation underlines the biological truth behind the phrase, "Your body is built and maintained entirely from the foods you consume." And if you regularly eat more than your body needs, especially low-quality, high-calorie food, you will not only gain weight, but also potentially compromise your metabolic health, cardiovascular function, and energy levels. Beyond physical health, nutrition profoundly impacts mental health. A growing body of research suggests that our gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that live in our digestive tract, affects brain chemistry. This relationship, often referred to as the gut-brain axis, implies that dietary choices can influence mood, memory, and even mental disorders. For example, omega-3 fatty acids, found in oily fish, flaxseed, and walnuts, are associated with reduced rates of depression. Likewise, a Mediterranean-style diet has been linked to lower rates of anxiety and cognitive decline. Processed foods, on the other hand, can exacerbate symptoms of depression and impair brain function. Emerging studies suggest that sugar, in particular, may promote inflammation in the brain and reduce the efficacy of neurotransmitters like serotonin. This evidence supports the idea that food is more than fuel. It is also medicine or poison for the mind. While the biological and psychological impacts of food are significant, the phrase, "you are what you eat," also carries cultural meaning. What we choose to eat is often shaped by tradition, religion, geography, and socio-economic factors. Food can be an expression of identity, heritage, and belonging. Consider how cultural cuisines reflect values and environments. Japanese diets emphasize seafood, rice, and vegetables, an adaptation to geography and a philosophy of balance. Indian diets, often vegetarian due to religious beliefs, showcase complex spices and legumes. In contrast, Western diets frequently center on meat and dairy, a reflection of industrial agriculture and historical affluence. Furthermore, food can be a powerful medium of social connection. Family meals, religious feasts, and national holidays often revolve around shared dishes. In these contexts, eating is more than sustenance. It is ritual and communication. What we eat can reflect our values, our relationships, and our sense of place in the world. In the 21st century, the ethics of eating have become increasingly relevant. With the rise of factory farming, global food scarcity, and climate change, food choices now have a moral dimension. Meat consumption, particularly red meat, has been linked to high carbon emissions, deforestation, and water depletion. Livestock farming accounts for nearly 15% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Critics argue that industrial animal agriculture is both unsustainable and inhumane, prompting the rise of vegetarianism, veganism, and flexitarian diets. In this context, "You are what you eat" expands beyond the personal to the planetary. Choosing a plant-based diet is not just about health, it's a political and ethical act. For many, rejecting certain foods becomes part of a broader commitment to environmental stewardship, animal welfare, and global equity. Modern consumer culture has radically transformed the way food is produced, marketed, and consumed. At the heart of this transformation is the rise of ultra-processed foods, industrially manufactured products that are often high in refined carbohydrates, added sugars, unhealthy fats, and synthetic additives. These foods are not just convenient, they are designed to be hyper-palatable, stimulating the brain's reward system in ways that encourage overeating. From a biochemical perspective, one of the most significant impacts of ultra-processed food is how it affects insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas that regulates blood sugar levels. When we consume carbohydrates, especially refined ones like white flour, sugar, and high fructose corn syrup, they are quickly broken down into glucose, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar. In response, the body releases insulin to transport that glucose into cells for energy or storage. Ultra-processed foods tend to have a high glycemic index, GI, meaning they cause sharp increases in blood glucose and subsequently large releases of insulin. This insulin spike has several consequences. Insulin is often referred to as the body's fat storage hormone. When insulin is high, it promotes the storage of excess glucose as triglycerides in fat cells, particularly in visceral fat around the abdomen. It also inhibits the breakdown of fat for energy, making weight loss more difficult even when calorie intake is reduced. After a rapid insulin spike, blood sugar levels often fall just as quickly, sometimes below baseline, a condition called reactive hypoglycemia. This leads to feelings of fatigue, irritability, and renewed hunger, often for more quick energy foods. The result is a vicious cycle of craving, consumption, and crash that drives overeating and dependence on processed foods. Chronic overexposure to high insulin levels, common in people who frequently consume sugary or refined foods, can lead to insulin resistance. This is a condition in which cells become less responsive to insulin, prompting the pancreas to produce even more of it. Over time, this metabolic dysfunction can contribute to weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Food manufacturers are acutely aware of these physiological effects and have used them to engineer foods that maximize craveability and repeat consumption. Terms like bliss point and mouthfeel are used in food science to describe the precise combinations of sugar, fat, and salt that light up reward pathways in the brain. These products often bypass natural satiety signals, leading people to eat more than they need. Moreover, food marketing targets vulnerable populations, particularly children, low-income families, and busy professionals, by promoting convenience, taste, and affordability while downplaying the long-term health risks. Colorful packaging, celebrity endorsements, and misleading health claims, like low-fat or natural, create an illusion of healthfulness that masks the metabolic havoc these products can cause. Ultra-processed foods dominate supermarket shelves not because they nourish, but because they sell. Their profitability is enhanced by low production costs, long shelf life, and addictive taste profiles. In this environment, the phrase, "you are what you eat," takes on a darker meaning. We are products of a system that prioritizes profit over public health. Ultimately, breaking free from this cycle requires not just individual willpower, but a collective rethinking of food systems, public health policies, and consumer awareness. Understanding the insulin response and how it is manipulated by food design and marketing is a crucial step in empowering people to make healthier choices and resist the trap of modern obesity. Given the myriad forces that influence our diets, biology, culture, economics, advertising, how much agency do individuals really have over what they eat? While it's true that structural inequalities affect food access, education, and affordability, individuals still have some power to make informed choices. Improving one's diet can be a deeply empowering act. Choosing to eat more whole foods, cook meals at home, or reduce sugar intake can lead to improved health, self-esteem, and resilience. Moreover, collective consumer choices can drive broader systemic changes. The growing demand for organic produce, plant-based meat alternatives, and ethical sourcing is reshaping the food industry. When people become conscious of the connections between diet, health, environment, and ethics, they are better equipped to make choices that align with their values. In this way, food becomes a form of self-expression and self-care. So, are you what you eat? From a scientific perspective, yes. Our bodies and minds are directly shaped by the nutrients we consume. From a cultural standpoint, our food choices express identity, tradition, and values. From an ethical view, our diets impact the environment and global equity. And from a personal lens, eating well is both a responsibility and a path to empowerment. While the phrase may seem simple, its implications are profound. To eat mindfully is to live intentionally, to nourish not only the body, but also the mind, the community, and the planet. In a world where food is increasingly politicized, industrialized, and commodified, remembering that you are what you eat may be one of the most radical, personal, and transformative truths we can embrace. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for more content, leave a comment to let us know your thoughts, and share this video with your friends. If you have any suggestions for content, please feel free to message me. Your support means a lot to us.